Editor note: Dr. Peter Better also maintained that Jung and Crippen were synthetics, in a very detailed review in his audio letters. Ref. Audio letters transcripts 40-80, page 106. Thanks to Bioaudiocont for supplying this data. Question: can clones be differentiated from real people in any measurable way? On a physical scale, the real way to tell a real human from a clone is that the clone does not have an aura energy field. Editor note: to be perfectly accurate, there is a slight field around the head, which contains the biological processors, but it is not like the field around the head of a normal human. Question: do they realize that they are clones? I don't know. I don't think they would realize it. If they are essentially living computers, they're programmed to believe whatever it is that has been programmed into them. Nothing more, and nothing less. Question: was the reason Carter had 18 clones because they were trying to perfect something, or just because his neurological structure had so much instability? I think it was a combination of both. Question: back in 1978 and 1979, they were launching some really strange military satellites, many satellites put in orbit, one in particular by Jung and Crippen, which is why apparently they had some trouble or were killed and duplicated, were developed by the National Reconnaissance Office, NRO. They were spy satellites, but were also equipped with tungsten shields and powerful dynamic gas lasers weapons, and designed to defend themselves against alien aggressors. Question: are there other areas where cloning facilities are maintained? Other areas in Russia are at the space facility at Semipalatinsk, and at Area 51 in the United States, where they are also building gravity craft, which the Andromedans called ISVs or interplanetary space vehicles. They're building the same things at the two Russian cities I mentioned. Okay. Weather modification. The weather modification operation is called Operation Certain Sentinel. Factions in world intelligence are in control of this operation from space and from the moon. On October 25, 1979, it was reported in the press that a satellite had monitored a low-yield nuclear explosion on September 22, 1979. On February 21, 1980, it was claimed by CBS News that this 1979 explosion was Israel's first atomic bomb test, which was assisted by the government of South Africa. This was not true. No radiation, no fallout, no gamma rays, X-rays or neutrons were produced. According to the Andromedans, what they had seen was a twin firing of particle beam weapons at an area in the ocean from the moon. This event was part of a weather modification test of the ability to create large storms at sea, and then in the future, to guide the storms to the shores of a specific not-so-favored nation. According to the Andromedans, much of the rain in the Midwest, and the tornadoes and snowstorms this past winter were aggravated and exaggerated by weather modification stations on the moon. Editor note: the El Nino cycle in 1998 was overlaid with these type of operations from the moon. According to Morini, currently, in your hierarchy, there is a secret project called the TX project that is underway. We will give you more information on this. Well, I haven't got that specific information yet, but I'm sharing with you what I have. Here's how they do it. Weapons on the moon enable storms to be generated artificially at sea, or over large lakes, then guided to a specific target or location by modifying upper atmosphere electrical charges. Hurricane Allen was created in this way on August 3, when it hit the coast of the Gulf of Mexico, according to the Andromedans. Now, I remember this storm. It hit the Gulf Coast with 125 miles per hour winds, and it appeared almost out of nowhere. It was very early in the season, and it was seen as a fluke. Now, they're doing this on purpose. They want to create weather catastrophes all over the planet so that we all become stuck in survival mode, and to get is to come together and approve a one world government to protect and save us. Now, natural earthquakes are one thing. If you remember during the lectures, I said that many earthquakes would not be natural ones. However, natural earthquakes can be triggered by artificial induction. The Northridge quake is a good example of this. Many people remember seeing a flash of light before this quake started. This is exactly what Morini was describing when he talked about the use of particle beam weapons. All they have to do is generate beams from 2 points and cross them at a specific location on the planet. It creates a flash and a pressure will move down into the earth, reverberate somewhere in the crust and come back up and induce an earthquake. Now, one of the only things keeping the United States economy together is the state of California. Devastate that, the United States economy is history. Most overseas transactions from China, Japan, Hong Kong and the Philippines come through Los Angeles and San Francisco. This information was given to me on February 4, 1988. It is from Vazis and it is about creation. Now, this is word for word and I apologize if you have trouble understanding it. This is the first time I am reading it in public. Your scientists understand the atom to contain neutrons, protons and electrons, combining in various ways and bonds to create the basic building blocks of your nature. From this starting point, atoms combine to form molecules and on we go up the scale till you'll reach a blue whale. But consider the atom. First, let us explain to you its properties from the standpoint of motion as we see it. Are the atom and its elements composed in a predetermined structure, with the neutrons, protons and electrons all obediently lining up and counting off? The answer is no. What you have is a mad dance, an entirely unpredictable one. As the electrons jump from point to point, within the limits of this sphere, never stopping, never falling into any consistent pattern or ritual. Now, consider this, Alex. The smallest, most basic unit of physical matter is one entirely unpredictable, constantly spinning and dancing. What does this tell you about the solidity of your precious physical matter? There's an answer. But to return to your atom, where do these tiny building blocks, these minute elements, come from? Are they in fact the smallest unit of matter, or can we divide them further and further? This question is unanswerable in your